expressed in this program by the host or guests do not state or reflect those of the company, its management, sponsors, or any entities they represent.
Oh, it's lit. We prime time. Subscribe, like, and share. Give us your feedback. Yo, I'm Manny at the plate and Kobe off a steal. Gretzky for the goal and Brady at the wheel. I'm a game changer, the Osaka of the tennis, and breaking scoreboard. Simone of the Olympics, defense and big business. The Mayweather who way better. From the greatness of Jim Brown, I've been down. Talking sports before I was off the porch. Screaming Bo knows while Jordan was playing horse. Late 80s getting torched by the drive and the shot. 2016 got a ring off the three in the block. They eased to forgot the cardiac kids. Price and Doherty, Bell in the Indian years. This who it is. Your host DeeTrynt, yo, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Yo, your host DeeTrynt, that's a name banger. Come in the streets and talk sports with the game changer. Natural energy fueled by misconceptions. Whole life ahead, feel one step from depression. I'm stressing, looking at all. No room for error or fall. Just progress with who's called. Be resilient and crawl. It's a real.
This ain't deeper than bars.
But I need share time. You know what I'm saying? I try to share time because I need share time. You know what I'm saying? And even when we on Game Changer Sports, we still deeper than bars because we game changers. You know what I'm saying? What's really good, man? DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, streaming on multiple media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or I guess X, Twitch. Follow us on IG at InDaStreetzSportz or at DeeTrynt. If you missed the live streamings, you can catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and various other streaming platforms. Just look for the InDaStreetzSportz channel. So like, subscribe, share, follow. Once you get in there, you will see Game Changer Sports Talk with yours truly. Make sure you do the same thing. Catch the website, InDaStreetzSportz.com. Make sure you get on there, catch the articles and everything. Sports season is about to be back in full effect. Olympics is popping right now, all right? So we got a lot to talk about. It's been a crazy off season for everybody. The MLB been crazy. The fight world starting to pick back up. And it seemed like it wants to get back to its glamour. But today, we are talking football. We talking Browns, all right? It is training camp time. It is almost preseason time. The Hall of Fame game this year, which will feature the Chicago Bears versus the Houston Texans, is Thursday, August 1st in Canton, as usual, right? I think they're doing something different this year with how they do, everything. But hey, it's football. Things are ever evolving. The game is trying to grow. But right now, you know what we trying to grow? How many championships my team can get. I had to put the triangle on with the box one time. Listen, these Browns look amazing. Okay? Now, first thing I want to start with these Browns is a little injury update, right? As you all know, coming out of last season, the Browns had various injuries, starting quarterback, starting running back, top 3 tackles, various players between the defense and the inside of the offensive line. These guys are returning healthy. A lot of these guys are back earlier or on schedule, as the organization has been saying. Everybody's on schedule, on par with whatever their expectation or forecast was at the time. But you rather be safe than sorry, right? So we got a couple guys that's on the active non-football injury list, right? So these guys basically could play today if need be, I guess so. Like, they be on the active roster, but technically they're not ready to play. They just got some little minor tweaks or something that they still need to heal from. Nyheim Hines, running back that we acquired. He has a knee injury, the same knee injury that came him out last year. I think it's just, again, like a precaution. These guys could end up being out. He could still end up starting the season not active per se. He would definitely count for the 53-man roster, but he would not be active for the games. If it don't heal up, you got 3-4 weeks of preseason. I would say he would probably be out the first month of the season if it, and that's cool. We definitely got a variety of talent back there that we could utilize in that backfield. So we'll see, right? And then you got Greg Newsome, who is on the now. Greg Newsome has a hamstring injury. Conversing with my on the clock guys this morning, and shout out to off the clock. Off the clock, my homies, man. Shout out to Off the Clock. But conversing with them earlier, I was learning that Greg Newsome's hamstring injury seems it could be a lower or it could be a higher. Some suggested it may be lower than would like to be. And the thing is, so what I've learned is with the hamstring injury, the lower it is, the more severe it is. You get less blood flow through the bottom of your legs than you do the top going towards the mid of your torso and things like that. So the lower it is, the harder it is to heal because a hamstring injury doesn't really necessarily have like a guaranteed timetable. It's something you like work through. You can't overdo it, but you also can't underdo it. You got to kind of do exactly enough. And everybody's body is different. Everybody's mindset is different. Crucial year for Greg Newsome the second, a guy who's looking to get a contract extension. Not sure what role he'll play in the top three, or how the money will make the organization look at the situation altogether. I'm personally in favor of them keeping Greg Newsome. I really like Greg Newsome. Having three top corners, especially knowing that your top tier guy is getting closer to 30, and at some point he'll have to just play like a mentor kind of backseat role, even though he'll still be top tier. So to already have two young number ones that could step in and allow, your veteran to really move around more would be ideal. That's me, just thinking now and for the future, right? That's me. But everybody can't get paid. We understand that too. So we'll see. But Greg Newsome's injury, if it's not a severe hamstring injury, then again, he's like Nyheim Hines. They could be back, October, before Halloween for sure. If not, these guys could be out past Halloween. Now, from what I looked at the schedule, unless I'm wrong, the Browns don't have a bye week until week 10, which is, I like that. You get to play 9 games. You come out that 5-4, you're usually in a good fighting position. If you come out that 9-0, outstanding. 7-2, 8-1, great, phenomenal as well. But coming out of that 9-game stretch, 3-6, 4-5, 2-7. It's not anything you want. The Browns have a very nice team, so they should be cool, right? But then you got guys on the PUP list. And this PUP list is physically unable to perform. So these guys haven't healed enough to the organization's liking for them to be in consideration to be active. Right? The season started today. These guys will not play. These guys will be on injury reserve. There's levels to the injury reserve. I think one is a 4, one is a 6, one is a 8-10 or something like that. I think one is a 12. Don't quote me, but I think it's something along those lines. So we have 5 guys on this list. Safety D'Anthony Bell. He has a shin injury that he hasn't fully recovered from. Running back Nick Chubb, of course, with his knee. He was out being seen not too long ago, a couple days ago, because they're out of state, West Virginia, Greenbrier, getting ready for the season like they did last year. Jack Conklin has been seen doing some things. He's going to take a reserve role this year, but he's still coming back from his knee injury, and he's had multiple leg injuries over the last couple seasons. So, bringing him back slowly, it's a good thing, right? Dalvin Tomlinson, guy who just got on there a couple days ago, had a surgery. Him and Greg Newsome had surgeries on the same day, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not fully sure if Greg Newsome actually had his surgery, even though I believe they said he did. However, Dalvin's injury is not really considered that severe-ish, just more precaution than just taking that extra measure. He's a guy that should be ready, beginning of the season. Maybe he may sit out the first, 3 games. But of all the guys that I've named, he will probably be the earliest to return so far. Him and this other guy, Jedrick Wills. Wills out last year with a knee injury. Him, DeWine, Conklin kind of went down back to back to back. But I think he's going to be good. I like Wills. A lot of people, on the fence about Wills, they don't know. I think this new offensive scheme and the way that it's going to be played is going to help him out a lot and showcase more of his strengths. That's my opinion. But we'll see how it play out, right? So that's your pump list: Hines, Newsome, Bell, Chubb, Conklin, Tomlinson, Wills. And now let's get into some real football talk, all right? It's been an interesting first 4 days here for the Browns being in West Virginia, all right? So what has happened? Well, Deshaun Watson talked to the media, and let me articulate this in the most respectful and honest way that I can, okay? Your local sports media coverage and the people in charge or responsible for handling that should look, in my opinion, to highlight the things that make the franchise or organization that they're covering appealing, right? They should look to make sure that people want to look at the team, because you figure if you make yourself appealing, then people are more eager to see what you have going on a regular basis, right? But here in Cleveland, for somehow, they figure controversy is the best appearance. And I feel like they search for reasons to ask difficult, unnecessary questions. Okay.
You right. You damn right. Cause I be on their heads about it. Like motherfuckers was hating when he was on vacation, right? And he took a picture, right? While he on vacation, he took a picture, and I guess he was like they seen his jury and his ice. So they were talking about his ice, but they not talking about he was on vacation working out. They weren't talking about that. They weren't talking about the clips that he picked when he was in the gym, talking about, yeah, still on vacation, but getting it in. They ain't say nothing about that. And they was talking about his clothes and how much jewelry he got and why is he taking vacations. Bro, everybody on vacation right now. Fuck what's wrong with him, bro? Man, this was like a few weeks ago. You already know the usual suspects, the hammers, the grossies asking the dumb questions, and man, listen, definitely when it comes to Watson, this shit is ridiculous. I'm gonna let you finish.
No, I'm glad you added that. I appreciate that, because that's an insider tidbit, right? And just highlights what I was saying. I would just prefer, right? And I would encourage that, the people in these positions would showcase their talents more in a more positive way. I would implore that you all are in a position to where you are considered role models for us in the area, in the region, who aspire to do what you all are doing. I feel like what you're showcasing is not a legitimate way of analytics, journalism, and commentary and reporting when it comes to sports and franchises. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? And being that I've went through some of the training, I've been involved in sports for more than 30 years of my life. I know something. I ain't completely ignorant. I know something. You know what I mean? So, but they're asking Deshaun about, all of negative feedback and things like that. And, to paraphrase, he just said, I don't really care about that BS. It means nothing to me. It doesn't matter, right? This is Watson's third year, going to his third year, right? And he's had a tumultuous first 2 years. But there's a lot of positivity to build off of. The resiliency alone. And as a person who knows something about being resilient, I applaud that man. It's not easy. It's not easy. All right. But he does it. And he looks mad. Deshaun Watson looks pissed. He looks like he is upset. And I love it. He looked like he is on a mission. And I love it. He doesn't want to talk. He just wants to play. And I love it. Okay. But we got Deshaun, we got Jameis, we got Tyler Huntley, and we got DTR, Dorian Thompson Robinson. So I think we got a nice little setup back there for the quarterback position. Guys who have experience in the league, who have won in this league outside of DTR. But him learning behind those three guys, being able to look in that room and see alike characteristics and alike talents, especially guys who do it at a higher level or the level that you aspire to want to do it at. I think that's a good room. And they got something to play with, especially with adding Ken Dorsey, who is, when Ken Dorsey was at Miami, I liked Ken Dorsey. I just didn't think he was that good as a quarterback. Like, his arm wasn't that strong, but he was smart and he was a leader. And that's what I always respected about Ken Dorsey, is he was smart and he was a leader. You know what I'm saying? So, what's good, bro?
What's up with the line? We got injuries on that line, don't we?
Yeah, so that's what I was speaking on in the beginning, right? Conklin down, not really ready yet. They still working Wills back in. DeJuan Jones out of the three is really the one who's more ready, but he's still not there yet, even though he's not on the list. They got a couple guys, Hudson, and I don't want to mess up the guy's name, but a guy that they just acquired. Those two will be at the starting tackles for right now, which is cool, right? Because it's only preseason. You got, Teller and Batonio is probably not going to play. Oh, we did have the newly acquired Brian Allen at center go down today. I'm not sure specifically what his injury is, but he is on injured reserve. And from the way the news broke, it sounds like he's going to be out an extended amount of time. So,
I didn't hear the beginning when you was talking about it.
No, I didn't mention Allen though, so I'm glad you chimed right in because I didn't mention Allen. But you know him, Brian Allen, newly acquired. You got Ethan Pocic, going into his third year with the team. Had a 1-year deal. Ended up re-signing for a 3-year deal. This is the second year of that 3-year deal. Now they have Luke Weipler, who they drafted last year from Ohio State. So he'll play. Zay 3, what's going on with you, Zay, baby? So they're pretty good at center though. With Weipler and when Pocic, you know, they pretty good. Batonio and Teller ain't gonna play a lot, but Zach Zenter, a
Oh, that's
guy
my
that they
dog, Jack
drafted.
Zay, man. Oh yeah, that's one of the best athletes in Northeast Ohio. They go recognize high
Okay,
school
Zay
year.
3.
His high school
Okay.
year now, man. Freshman season, he about to act a fool.
Okay, Zay.
Act a fool.
Big ups to Zay. We're gonna have to put a lot of coverage on you, Zay. Go ahead and, you know, check you out, man. Put you on display, you know. Get your NIL together one time. You feel what I'm saying? Get your resume rate, man. But I'm gonna tell you, man, my first advice for you today is, bro, just always stay sound on your fundamentals. IQ is underrated. You know what I'm saying? And that's understanding what your strengths are and how you can manipulate what you can do and how that translates to team winning, right? Fundamentals, you know what I'm saying? Feet work, all that type of thing. So, you know what I'm saying? Definitely look forward to it, but definitely tune in.
Zay footage all on this page. It's all on here. It's all on in the streets from basketball to football.
Oh, that's him. Oh. Boss start early.
He's serious.
Boss start early. That's what we talking about. Yeah. So Zach Zenser, you got him down there. They brought Michael Dunn back. These guys, I feel like, you know, Hudson. I want to say the dude name is Hajaji, but I don't think that's right. Once I get his enunciation right, I'll say his name. And then you got Zenter, Weipler, and Dunn, right? And Dunn to be the vet on the line, even though he's the backup, he'll be the vet on the line, which is cool. Got a few more guys down there they're gonna work out, but I think those 5 guys will be the main ones they're looking at to see who's going to be in that reserve role to go with the other guys that they already have. Conklin is most likely going to be the swing tackle. He's going to be able to play either left or right behind Jedrick and DeJuan. I think that Zenter is a guy who is going to basically take over the Michael Dunn role, and he'll be able to probably go both sides. You know, depending on how his development goes, you know, lets them know how they want to move with Wyatt Teller contract coming up at the end of the season. You know, so the offensive line, for my personal assessment, like overview of the line, though, I don't necessarily have any worries about the talent. I don't have a lot of concerns about the potential chemistry and cohesiveness of the unit because a lot of these guys have been playing together for quite a while. You know, there's a structure and a culture here in Cleveland now. There's a professionalism. There's a, dare I say, thirst to achieve the highest levels of accomplishment when it comes to football in Northeast Ohio. So I just feel like the talent's there, the culture's there. It's just about giving them time to gel, right? And figuring out who are your core 8 guys, right? That's how I figure it. On that line, it's going to be at least 8, right? Guaranteed. The other, you know, if it's a 9th guy or a 10 guy, that depends on the layout of the team. But I just feel like it's going to be at least a core 8, right? And we'll see who comes out on top. DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, streaming on multiple media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Follow us on IG at Industry Sports or at DeeTrynt. If you missed the live recordings, just catch the replays on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Radio Public, and various other streaming platforms. Just look for the Industry Sports channel, subscribe, like, follow, share. Once you get in there, you will see Game Changer Sports Talk with DeeTrynt. Go ahead and do the same thing. I want to talk about something that is near and dear to me, okay, when it comes to football. So, my favorite two positions are running back and middle linebacker, right? Just running backs and linebackers, just that whole position. Really, I mean, I say middle, but outside, it doesn't matter, right? I am a fan of those two positions. In my opinion, when you have stars, juggernauts, megastars at those two positions, your team will always be a good team. When you got a dominant running back and a dominant middle linebacker, specifically for sure, your team will always be in the fight because these guys control the middle of the field and the trenches is everything. All right. And with the Browns linebacking core, I don't feel like, we're giving it enough talk. There's not enough talk about the potential of this linebacking core. All right. So this core is now led by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. All right. He is the guy at the linebacker unit. He is not a middle linebacker because of his size, right? But also his ability and his potential to be able to cover as he gets older, mature, and grows into his NFL body. I feel like he needs one for sure running mate, right? The Browns brought in Jordan Hicks, a veteran, a guy who's had over 100 tackles in the last 5 consecutive seasons, a guy who's a leader, a guy who's a true middle linebacker, replacing what Anthony Walker brought to us, right? He's an elder statesman, an older guy, but he could definitely do the job. Then we brought in Devin Bush. Now, at one point in time, Devin Bush was one of the best linebackers in the league. He had an injury against the Browns. And he's now into year 3 of that recovery. That is a wild card, right? I think he only got a 1-year deal, maybe a 2-year deal. But I'm really hoping he hits it out the park. And because him and Jeremiah could be a great tandem in this system. You also got Tony Fields the second, who's still here. They have a guy named Winston Reed who's here. Charlie Thomas the second, a guy who they got last year, undrafted. I like him. He was number 35 last year. I don't know if he's still number 35 yet. I liked him. We drafted Nathaniel Watson, a guy that I think can really come on and really, really turn into something. And Diabite. Okay. So why do I want to talk about this linebacking core? All right. All the linebackers not gonna make it, right? You figure in a perfect world, JOK, Bush, Hicks, if it's me choosing, Diabite, Fields, and Thomas, and Watson. But I like Thomas too, right? So I guess Fields and Thomas would duke it out. But on my team, I would probably keep 7 linebackers, though. I'm not going to even hold you. Because, and why, right? I need guys who's going to play, right? And 9 times out of 10, my top 4 linebackers are going to see the most action. Whether I play them 2 at a time, 3 at a time, 1 at a time, my top 4 linebackers will see the most field action, right? But I still need guys that can come in and give breathers. I need guys with different types of skill sets that can play special teams. And regardless of what people are saying, the linebacker position is hold on one second, y'all. Okay. So the linebacker position is still important. So in my mind, those top 4 guys right now, right? JOK, Bush, Hicks, and Fields. Fields by seniority and tenure. Bush and Hicks by level of acquisition means. Meaning, you know, these guys were specifically targeted and went out and acquired. So they have a leg up in the race. Charlie has been in the system for a year, so he has a chance for his knowledge and his skill set. Diabite as well. Watson is a guy that they drafted, so he has a little more rope probably than the rest of them. I guess a Winston Reed is a guy who's definitely fighting for a spot. And they just waived Caleb Martin or Caleb Johnson, Caleb something. I don't want to mess your name up, bro. His name was Caleb, though. They did bring in a Jeremiah Martin and an Okafor at left tackle. Martin is a defensive end, 6'3", rookie year, undrafted. And Okafor is in his second season. I think he was picked up by Minnesota, but now he is here. So, again, adding to that offensive line thing, they got some more bodies in there they're going to try out. And I like how the Browns doing it. You know, bring these guys in, let them work. We know who the starters are. We know who the 22 starters are just about, or at least the 22 guys who are going to play the most out of everybody else. So it's really just about the back end of the roster, the last, 31 guys. Who are those guys, right? The running back room. No, wait. Before I move from the linebacker room, right? I really like the emergence of JOK. All right. If you get him, Bush, and Hicks to be the mainstays, especially for this season, to go with what that defensive line is going to be or has the potential to be, we literally could have the best defense. And I'm not even talking just a good top 2 defense. Listen, clicking on all cylinders, I think talent-wise, coaching-wise, structure-wise, this could be like one of those legendary defenses. You know, those defenses that you compare other good defenses to see how far they measure up or what level of greatness that they could compare to. This could be one of those. Like this defense has a lot of potential to give everybody in this league havoc, okay? It does not matter who your quarterback is. It does not matter who your running back is. It does not matter who your receivers are. It does not matter who your line is. This defense, talent-wise, from top to bottom, is built to battle anybody's offensive attack. That is what's scary. That is what's being missed. The versatility of this team. And, it's so many injuries, that people are still kind of harping on right now and player situations that people are trying to figure out today for whatever reason, right? Forgetting that we're still going for a championship, right? But what seems like a black eye could really be gray face paint, right? And I know that sounds crazy. But, I'm underlining and saying, like, things may not always be as grim as you think they appear. And certain things happen for a reason. Nick Chubb's injury, right, from last year. I would hope that Nick Chubb doesn't play until after the bye. Because that's when we need him. We need him through the Super Bowl. So if he got to sit out the first 9 weeks, to make sure he is as good as he can possibly be without feeling like he got to overwork himself to come back, he's going to be fine. And he'll come back right on time. Yes, I do believe that this team can hold up in his absence for the first 9 weeks. I don't see why they couldn't with that defense and these players on offense. I'll mention that in a second when I get over there. Greg Newsome as one of the top 3 cornerbacks. He is a guy who could be out the same amount of time. If Greg Newsome has a hamstring injury and he has to be out until the bye week, then he should stay out. Because we're going to need him for the championship run. Side note, right? I am so ecstatic that I can sit here and say that with confidence. That we're making championship runs, right? Even though the Browns still got a few hurdles, I need them to win a season opener and a home opener. I need them to win consecutive games back-to-back, 4 or 5 in a row. I need them to win a division. You know, I need them to have a top 3-2 record in the AFC. You know, there's a few milestones they need to hit, but they have the talent and the ability to do all of that this year. So I can say with confidence, if these guys ain't ready yet, we're going to need them for the back end of that run. Them last 7 games going to be crucial. We going to need y'all. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what's going to be going on by then. So y'all coming back probably going to be just right on time, and y'all going to be fully ready to play. Hungry, ready to put it on the line. And that's cool. You never have enough weapons in this league, right? Dalvin Tomlinson, right? You know, the leader in that defensive tackle room. His absence is allowing certain guys to be able to showcase, right? And we look at this D tackle room. You got the second round pick, Michael Hall Jr. from O State. You got Jawan Briggs, who they drafted in the 6th round. You got Quentin Jefferson, who they brought over, who I just found out earlier had 6 sacks last year from the defensive tackle position. That's crazy. And he like 6'4", right? Chris Williams, a guy that they brought over. And you got Siaki Ika from last year. Dalvin being out gives a couple of these guys a chance to really showcase what they can do. In my mind, I would prefer it be Dalvin, Ika, Hall, Jefferson. Those would be my top 4 for defensive tackle. Those would be the guys that I'm pulling for. I don't know a lot about Briggs to really have an assessment, but time will tell. And maybe my sentiments could change. But as of today, those 4 are the guys that I would like to see up there with Tomlinson. Yeah, Tomlinson, Hall, Ika, Jefferson. Yeah. That'll be fire on the rotation side. You could do a lot with those 4 as a rotation. And I think they would help Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith a whole lot, okay? Because once offensive realize that you cannot double Myles Garrett, the game changes. And that is what that's another thing a lot of the media is skipping. A lot of these people, when they analyze the Browns, they ain't really taking into consideration, okay, is the fact that you will not be able to double team Myles Garrett anymore. You will not be allowed to throw 3 guys at him anymore. Za'Darius Smith in the second year of this system will have twice as many sacks as he had last year at minimum. I think last year he had 3 or 4. This year he gets 10. I believe that. Tomlinson in the second year of this system, I think last year he had 3. I think he can get at least 5 this year. Ika, Jefferson, and Hall could all pitch in a combined 10 plus sacks. Possibly. And I'm just speaking on their individual talents and abilities. They could do this. And a lot of times, 90% of the times, because people so keen on the defensive player of the year, so keen on him, everybody getting one-on-ones. It is about to be crazy. Them dominating them one-on-ones opens up all the tackling lanes, which means in this defense, we could literally have 3 linebackers with over 100 tackles. Y'all think I'm tripping, right? This front 7 is shaping out to be tackles and sacks. Okay? Tackles and sacks. You either getting stopped somewhere within the first 5 yards or you're not getting to the line of scrimmage. Passing on this team at some points in the season will be virtually impossible. For one, you won't have the time. For 2, you won't have the space. And for 3, I don't know if it's going to be possible to outsmart this secondary for an entire 4 quarters. I really feel like this is shaping out to be a legendary defense. And then you got to add guys like Double O, Alex Wright, which are defensive end guys who I feel like are shoe-ins to be on this team. Those 2 specifically. Now, you come down to, Kamara still here. Jeremiah Martin, who they say they just got. Isaiah McGuire still here. Isaiah Thomas still here. All right. All these guys are not going to make it. Okay. Maybe some of them end up on a practice field, but some of these guys are probably going to end up on another team. It just depends because you can only have so many guys on the roster. Now, because of the Pope thing and certain guys going to have to go on the IR, it's going to leave a little room for, certain guys to be able to get on the roster. But this front 7, bro, this front 7 going to be so fire. DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, streaming on multiple media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Follow us on IG at Industry Sports or at DeeTrynt. If you miss a live streaming, please catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and various other streaming platforms. Just look for the Industry Sports channel, subscribe, like, follow, share. Once you get in there, you will see Game Changer Sports Talk with yours truly. Make sure you do the same thing. This offense, right? Talk a little bit about this offense, right? Amari Cooper got paid, right? Amari Cooper was on a 1-year deal last year of his contract that they acquired from the Raiders. No, Dallas. I'm tripping. From Dallas. It was a non-guaranteed $20 million. So the Browns guaranteed that 20, basically gave him a signing bonus, and then gave him $5 million more. So he probably has a base salary of probably like, I don't know, $6 million maybe for this year. But he got $25 million up front. Whatever they decide to do at the end of the season, he got paid for this year. And what else could you ask for? You got 25 for 1 year. We'll see how this year play out and see how it line up and see how the money go, right? But it was imperative to bring Amari Cooper back, and I'm glad they got it done. Him and Njoku are going to have career years this 2024-2025 NFL season. These two guys are about to terrorize the league. It is about to get so crazy. Year 2 in the system where they figured it out. Now you're adding new concepts to the route trees and new ways to figure out how to get open and manipulate the defense. That allows what I feel like this enables the quarterback and receivers to develop chemistry faster, to understand each other at a quicker pace, because there's no teacher like experience. So these two guys are going to rock out, right? And then what's going to happen is teams are going to start keying in on these two, and then you're going to have to remember that there's a Jerry Jeudy, that there's a Elijah Moore, that there's a David Bell, that there's a Cedric Tillman, okay? That there's a James Thrash, all right? My breakout player for this core is David Bell. He has been a forgotten name. A lot of people do not mention him, okay? I wholeheartedly think that the Browns are going to be looking to take at least 7 receivers into the season, right? So, Cooper, Jeudy, Moore, right? Elijah Moore, Tillman, right? Just for the sake of arguing with people, Tillman, right? Then you got Bell, you got Thrash, all right? I think these 6 receivers are lock-in. Why? Because we're throwing the ball more. You got to have more receivers. If you're going to throw the ball a lot, you're going to need at least 7 receivers available. You need at least 7. Somebody has to play special teams. The 7th guy, I don't know, man. You know, it's a lot of different little cats down there. I ain't gonna lie. On the wide receiver side, the Browns we got a couple of okay, so you got Amarion Brown, Jalen Camp, Jalen Darden, Matt Landers, James Prochet, and Michael Woods II, who I feel like are all fighting for one spot. Now, if 2 of these guys show out crazy, I wouldn't be shocked if the Browns tried to take 8 receivers into the season, because you got to throw the ball around. Now, what would keep them at 6, though, right, is because you're going to have at least 3 tight ends. There's no mystery about that. There's a good chance it's going to be Njoku, Atkins, and what's my one homie name? Welch. Trenton Welch? Yeah, I think that is. Zaire Mitchell-Payton has been with the team for quite a few seasons, and I do think that he has a good game. Trayton Welch is a guy that I personally think could dub as a fullback because I think he's athletic enough to pull it off. But we have a fullback on the roster. I don't know how that's gonna work. We don't have at least 4 running backs. So, you figure I said 8, 8, and we just beat on offense, right? You figure I say 8 offensive linemen and 6 receivers. That's 14. Then you go 3 quarterbacks. That's 17. Say you go 3 tight ends. That's 20. Now you talk about the running back room. So does that leave room for you to have 4 running backs? 3? Where's the give and take? You're gonna have at least 3, right? Because you're gonna have Jerome Ford. Nick Chubb will start off on the inactive reserve list. You'll have 4 Pierre Strong. You got Donson Foreman back there. He's fighting for a spot. You got Naheem Hines. So you got, I don't know, man. Like, the interesting thing about this is more shotgun, more option routes. And option routes are basically this route is more effective against this defense. So it's an option. It could be a down and in, it could be a post, right? It could be a down and out, or it could be, if it's that, then you go fly, right? It just depends. But I think that is a format where David Bell will thrive in. I think him out of all of these players will thrive the most out of that. I think Amari Cooper is just so good, he's going to thrive anyway. He's just who he is. But I think he'll thrive with that. Well, I ain't going to go for too long because I just want to get in here and talk a little bit about the Browns and just a little overview of what I think about the team and the different personnel slots and things like that. As I said, this Browns team looks like they're going to be a formidable force for a very long time. And I am eager to see everyone healthy. But first things first, man, we got to get through the first preseason game, which is against the Packers, I believe. And I believe it's coming up not this weekend, but next weekend, the 10th. So look forward to talking to you all sooner than later. DeeTrynt, Game Changer Sports Talk, Industry Sports, streaming on multiple media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Follow us on IG at InDaStreetzSportz or at DeeTrynt. If you missed live streamings, you can catch the replays on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, various other streaming platforms. Just look for the InDaStreetzSportz channel. Like, subscribe, share, follow. Once you get in there, you'll find Game Changer Sports Talk with yours truly, DeeTrynt. You can do the same thing there. Go to the website, InDaStreetzSportz.com. Check out the articles, check out the videos and everything we got for you. And if you have somebody you want to be spotlighted, if you want to be a writer, right? If you want to try your waters with the podcasting thing and you need a place to be able to, hit us up, man. InDaStreetzSportz@gmail.com or DeeTrynt@gmail.com. Inboxes on the social medias. It's a lot of aspiring sports content creators out here, a lot of aspiring writers, a lot of aspiring sports journalists, people who want to do play-by-play and commentary. Bro, I do it all. All right? We here at the channel, everybody involved, we do it all of us. So this is a place where you can be able to really hone your skills and really get them together and, still sharpen steel, right? I love to be up here chopping it with multiple people on a regular basis. I don't want to be up here on the solo. It's more motivating to do it with a team, in my opinion, right? So Appreciate y'all, man. Have a good one. Browns training camp still gonna go on day 5. I think they'll be back next week. Make sure y'all hit us up, give us your feedback, type in the chat, let us know what you think. Peace, love, and hair grease.